This morning I was sitting at my desk and really was looking at what everything that I needed to get done, and I got so nervous. I got so nervous. I was like, man, I was sitting there thinking like, man, it's gonna be a lot to deal with. Will I remember everything? Will everything work according to plan? And I was like, man, this is too big. That's what I was like, man, it's too big. It's too big. It's too big for one man to handle. And then instantly I thought of Joshua in the Bible. And then Joshua 1, he has a conversation with God, and God is basically telling him, hey, look, I'm going to be with you through this whole process. It's going to be okay. You're not going to lose. Just do what I say. Do what Moses told you to do, and you'll be just fine. I won't leave you. I choose to be with you every day. So it's going to work out. And after that, we see that Joshua told his people, hey, let's get ready. We're about to go in, take this land. And then they took the land. I think they ended up taking 32 kingdoms. And I realized, I said, man, he had a big job to do, man. He had a huge job to complete. Let's consider, even for myself, I was really thinking about his name. He has an entire book in the Bible, and he had one of the most important jobs in the entire Bible, and that was to bring the people into the promised land. And I was like, I was just sitting there thinking, I said, man, I don't know exactly how that feel, but I think in this situation I understand, because you have to think that, yes, he went into the land prior. He was able to bring some fruit back, but he still had to be, when he finally got to his, like, man, this is a pretty big deal. Hope I don't mess up. And what I gathered from it is that sometimes there's going to come a day where you can't have a conversation with nobody but God. And God himself will have to tell you that it is going to be okay for you to accomplish what you will accomplish. You can have 1,000 advisors. You can have the greatest friends and people that support you. But there will be a decision that you will have to make that is going to be so big, it's going to frighten you, that the only person who is going to be able to help you through it is God himself. And I had to realize that about Joshua, was that God himself had to tell Joshua it was going to be okay and it was going to work out, so that way he can achieve what he was meant to achieve. We think that our friends can help us. Yes, they're great to have around. We think that our advisors and people, our mentors, will help us. Yes, they're great for providing insight. But there will be a day. There will be a task that you want to achieve that no one can help you but God. And I was thinking about that thing today, even for myself. So I had to go to God on some things. And I said, Lord, I know that I get victory. Like, I know, but I had to have a conversation. My wife couldn't help me. My friends couldn't help me. My mentors couldn't help me. I had to have a conversation with God to be able to be okay with, let's move forward. No matter how big this thing is, clearly it's before me. So that means I can accomplish it. So I wanted to share that, because that day comes and you'll sit there, you're going to sit at the table in your office or in the room, and you're going to start working on it, and then you're going to hit a block, and you're like, man, why do I keep hitting this block? And it's because it's so big. You like, man, how do I handle this? How do I handle this so big? I can't think of everything. How do I handle it so big? I can't think of every minute detail, and that is okay. Because God is with you. And that's one of the things that made me successful in college, when I was thinking about it as well, is that I had to go to God and I had to say, Lord, I need your strength for this. When on my way to be president, and my ex-girlfriend died at the time, and I was a student manager. I had all this stuff on my plate. I'm like, Lord, I don't know how to handle this. And I had to have a conversation with God and God alone. My friends couldn't help me. People that was there supporting me and consoling me, my boss and my professors, there's nothing they can do. I had to go to God. And The same way Joshua had to go to God, the same way I have to go to God, and the same way you have to go to God. We all have to. Because there'll be a day. There will be a day.